to the press conference. If you have a question, raise your hand and we'll give you a microphone. Start the first question. Novak, how excited for you to be here in Doha?
It's not a good image for our sport, that's for sure. There's a consensus, or I would say a majority of the players that I've talked to in the locker room, not just in the last few days, but also last few months, that are not happy with the way this whole process has been handled. The majority of the players doesn't feel that it's fair. Majority of the players feel like there is favorism happening. It seems like it appears that you can almost affect the outcome if you're a top player, if you have access to the top lawyers and whatnot. So we've seen on the social media Simona Halep and Tara Moore and some other players that are maybe less known that have been struggling to resolve their cases for years or have gotten the ban for years. And I think, right now it's a ripe time for us to really address the system, because the system and the structure obviously doesn't work of anti-doping. It's obvious. So I hope that in the next period of the near future that the governing bodies are going to come together of our tours and the tennis ecosystem and try to find a more effective way to deal with these processes. So yeah, I mean, it's inconsistent, and yeah, it appears to be very unfair. The inconsistency is something that frustrates all the players. It's like if you are going to treat every case individually or independently, which is what's happening, then there is no consistency, then there is no transparency, and some cases are transparent, some are not. We know that there's a kind of a vague rule that I read that it's within a reasonable time you have to provide information where you got contaminated substance, and he provided it in this, as I understand, 6-hour window, but it doesn't say in the rules it's a 6-hour. It's a reasonable time. So what's the reasonable time? Obviously, sometimes in one case you can have a larger contamination. Sometimes, in some cases, you have a smaller one, like in his case. But the problem is that right now there is a lack of trust generally from the tennis players, both men and female, towards WADA and ITIA and the whole process. So we either going to agree that all the cases will be transparent from the beginning, or all will be kept private until they're resolved.